Hello, people. Welcome to this wonderful platform. This is Joy's Affairs Helpline. Previously, we told you about the helpline. We told you what this helpline is all about. This helpline is going to be introducing to you investors, people that are innovators that want to really show their talents or showcase things they do to the whole wide world. Yes, and apart from showcasing it, we are expecting those other jewels, we call them the top jewels, to actually support them and make sure these dreams, innovations come to reality. And yeah, we told you about a lady called Gloria Senko. Yeah, she's a phonist and she's been doing it for quite some time now, and today she's here with us, and she's going to be telling us about her dreams, aspirations, ambition, and why, and the reasons why she's doing all of this. So can we meet Gloria? Yeah, Gloria, can we meet you?
All right, my name is Gloria Single.
Okay, Gloria Single. Where's that? Yeah, you from?
I'm from Delta State. It's a good to be precise.
Can you actually speak from Delta State? Oh God, I'm blushing. Okay, so Gloria Single, you're actually a phonist. Okay, so and you've been doing this for how long?
Well, as I have 7 years experience working with children.
Wow, 7 years experience. That's interesting to know. Okay, what actually inspired you? What makes you feel you should do this?
Well, what inspired me? It was I found out that children in public government schools, public primary schools, most of them struggle to read. I did my TP, my teaching, not teaching practice, I did my IT after my AD in Lagos, and I worked in a school, private school to be precise. School I worked. Children from a very tender age read 4 years, you see them reading.
Okay.
3 years. The ones that are very smart start reading 3 to 4 to 5 you read. Well, down there I discovered that most children struggle to read. And I was like, how are they doing over there? How are they able to teach those young children to read? And what makes some children struggle down there? And I worked in a school, private school I worked. The children of 4 years reading.
Wow.
So I was like, so I had that mindset that at least a child of 4, 5, 6 years
should be able to read.
Maybe for me to get to I was in my school, my village, and it was a different world. I was like, what's the reason? So how are they doing it there?
And why is it different?
Why is it different? Why is there difference between children in Lagos? Yeah, I work and children in this school. Okay, so around 2013, I went to service and I told myself that okay, I'll go back to Lagos and learn this thing. Learn how they're able to teach children to read at a very
tender age. Okay.
So 2014 I went back to Lagos after my NYC, and then I did some training. Okay. Actually for this to be precise. So that was how I started. After the training I got a job in a good school. And it was in a Montessori school. Okay. And from there I started using the knowledge, and it was like God prepared the place for me. Okay. Because when I got there, I saw children I met children who were struggling to read. Okay. So it was like, okay, I had to put myself in try to work hard. I was fresh from school.
Wow.
We were too accepted. We had to join phonics training and hard. But that wasn't enough. So I did a lot of personal studying, go on. By the end of the session or at the end of the term, those children were able to read, and I was really excited.
Wow, like you did a miracle then.
Just a miracle. So just applying some of the principles that I learned from the training. I think that's where it started. That's where it started from. Then from there, as I was working there, all my thought was how do I acquire these skills? And get back to my field.
Wow, it's all about, giving back.
Yeah,
I think I like that. You see, how do you acquire this and give it back because you were concerned about what you saw right at the village and you need to make some things right. You need to correct it. How? God, that's really wonderful. I admire you. Some persons will not do this, you understand? But they want to acquire it and see how they can make a whole lot of work out of it. Remember we told you Gloria Single is a phonist? Doing this with schools here in Isoko land. And one of the major reasons we are bringing her up here on this show is because what she's doing is really inspiring and is encouraging. Yes, that's one of the reasons we are bringing her up here. And we want you to know that there's something like this existing already in this land. Imagine all your children come back to the house and they're speaking fully good English. Wow! And it's a good kid. That's interesting. So we will be paying a bill. Some bills, right? Let's pay some bills. When we come back, we will discuss our vision and what you need to really do to make this whole thing bigger, bolder, and more visible. Stay with us, don't go away.
Trying, but they can't do it alone.
Yeah, I really think it has to do with individual too. Some of these kids, it's their own ability. Like the teacher can only try what they want to try. You understand? This same application you could use it on a child and use it on another child, and it's not working. So I think it has to do with the personal capability of the child also.
Not so.
Okay.
It's what I think they can work for every child.
Wow, that's interesting.
It can work for every child. I easy to teach a child that was confirmed dyslexic. A dyslexic child is a child that has really difficulty.
Yeah, difficulty.
Yes, I've used this method to work with a child that has dyslexia. The dyslexic child, the child was able to read. So it can actually work. Most of our children here, it's not as if they are not smart.
Okay.
We have children who are very smart.
Very smart.
They are street smart.
Okay.
Yes. So, but what I think is that the issue is
the kind of method
the method.
They just need the right method.
Yes.
Yeah, and when it's applied to them, they can do it. That's really nice. You see, if someone just leave all the way from here down straight to Lagos and learn how to do this thing, just to come back to impact more in our children, I think that's really commendable. And how you do this all alone, or do you have people you work with and people you're teaching this method of how? Because looking at schools here in Isoko, it's very large. We have plenty of schools. So how do you want to impart in all of these schools? How do you want to go around? How do you want to do this?
Presently, we are in three schools. We're in ICS.
Oh wow. Okay.
Central School. Was primary school and Ogri Primary School.
Oh, where's Ogri Primary School?
Ogri Primary School is in Missouri.
Okay.
And yes, we have. I'm not alone. I've shared the vision with some persons.
Okay.
They came to it. They are with me. They work with me. But presently, I'm the only one going to schools. About 3 schools.
Okay.
Yes.
So why are they not going to school? Is there any reason why they are not doing that?
Okay, yeah, right now they are engaged, but in terms of planning, in terms of mapping out plans, how to reach out to people, don't think they are involved.
Yeah,
In terms of going to classrooms to teach, they don't have the mentor, they don't have the time right now.
You need to train those
Yes, I
people.
need to
So
train
what
them.
will it really take you to train more people? You understand? Because this you're doing is a very broad thing, and I think it's really very. It's something we should encourage. Something we should encourage. You imagine we have all our kids here, getting to read and write, and it's so perfect, and getting to represent. Me, I'm so concerned about this name Isoko, like, and Isoko kid. Speaking in phonetics, that's wonderful. So what do you really need, or what are the things that you think we need to do to get more people involved in this, and how to spread this, and make more schools get involved in it?
Okay, basically when I came, I tried to teach using the method I use over there.
Okay.
But I realized that I had to do a lot of adjustment. Our children most of the kids over there are very exposed. Our children
Okay.
here
They are not
that
exposed. That exposed. Okay.
Yes. They are mostly English learners. So I tried to, what I did was I developed the workbook
Okay.
for them. So that instead of going to buy some of those workbooks, and they are very expensive, most of them are foreign. Having worked for like 6 years in the classroom, I'm able to develop the workbook, put my knowledge of how I was able to work with children. Okay, what did I do? What was the first step I took? So I put those steps in the book.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you mean that book we talked about is actually your own book?
Yes.
Wow, that's very, very, and will I say inspirational? Whatever. Okay, that book I talked about previously in that edition is actually a personal book. I was even thinking it's a book that you acquired from somewhere, and you need us to make more of this book so that you can find. You see, this is a personal book, a book that she has done some of these steps before, and they worked. So she wants more of these books so that she can give it to these children
Put them
and teach them from the book. Use it to teach them. Fine. So this is it. This is where you come in as a senior top jewels. Yeah, you have to support this vision. Imagine we have children out there that are so good and spoken words, English, and they are good in expressing themselves. I really think everything we have to do on this earth, it's all about expression. Whatever business you find yourself, you have to express yourself, because if you don't know how to express yourself, you won't be able to sell the right ideas to people. So that's what Victoria Single is doing right now. I want you to support. Each of the books cost how much?
500, but
Just-
not just the books.
Okay.
Because if a child knows how to read, our focus is not just teaching the children to read.
Okay.
Our focus is to get these children hooked on books, to be book lovers.
Wow.
I believe that the way our children, we have smart kids, believe me. We have children who are street smart. If you can get some of these are kids to be book smart also, as in to have a balance, not just being street smart, but also to get them to be book smart, to love books. Because reading to me is the basis of freedom.
Wow.
If you can read, you have a lot of information. Most of our kids now, before they get to secondary school, they develop this kind of habit that they don't want to carry their books. Why? Because they were not guided in that area.
Okay.
So our focus, my vision now is I want to encourage the reading culture among our children, but I can't do that if the children cannot read. That's why I have to go to the classroom to share some of my experience with the teachers. Then I don't believe in teaching I'm not really teaching them. I'm sharing my experience. But the best way to share the experience is to display it, to demonstrate it. So that's what I do in the schools. I demonstrate my experience so that the teachers can observe. One of the teachers that are interested can observe. Maybe pick up one or two things from me, use it for the kids. But we can't achieve anything without workbooks for these children. Then even if we have the workbooks, without storybooks, because there are principles.
Okay.
Now, every principal's way we expose the students to, there are workbooks that should support the principle that the children could use as practice. I mean, that they could use to practice.
Okay.
So we need stories.
Storybooks, the book will put together. We also need to print that and large. Okay, our numbers are going right on the screen. Fine. If you love education, you love the students to be where you really wish they should be. You love smart kids, you want them to be book attached. Yeah, I think you can help. Yes, this is where you come in. You have to do something. Remember, whatever contribution or sponsorship you give to this, we are going to talk about live, like we're going to come and say, this name and that name supported us, one with this amount. We're going to call it live here. So it's not like something we're doing back. Yeah. Trying to, make it look like there's no people. But funny enough, you see this whole thing, we are selling it to the public and we want you to be part of this. We want you to support the lesser jewel and the top jewel. Also, this is a thank you very much, Gloria Single, for being here. Do you have more things to say, to the kids or to people that really want to support you?
Okay.
Something more to say.
Nothing much, but I believe together we can. Only government cannot do it. Only our teachers cannot do it.
Okay.
We are together in this. For one smart kids, for one smart, want our kids to be
smart. And we want the
smart.
smarter society.
Yes, I want the smarter society. Please.
Okay.
Together we could give us one book.
Okay. One book is how much again? 500?
500, yes.
Okay, then we'll get more storybooks for the children.
Yes.
No, the purpose, I think, is just to make them attached to this book thing. Like a child must be attached to a book.
Instead of watching TV.
And watching TV or playing games. I see some of them that all they are interested in playing a game in the phone. All the games and phones, they know it. So why can't a child also know all the storybooks?
And they cannot read if there are no books for them to read.
Fine, so we need to make more provisions. You understand? We need to encourage these kids, not just our children. Not just our children. There are a whole lot of children out there that they don't have these things. They don't even have people to support them. Those are government schools, public schools. You understand? We need to come out, and support these kids and make sure we're building a good society. Remember taking care of these kids? We're making a good platform and we're actually imparting good knowledge into these schools to make our society a very reliable and a successful one. It all starts from this stage, a child. So help a child today, save a child today, and build the nation. Thank you very much for staying with us. Remember, our numbers are still going right on the screen. We want your help, right? Gloria Single needs your help to do this and make this more informative. And good. Thank you very much. Until we meet again on our next edition of the Helpline.